right. What's up, guys? Hey, good morning. Hey, if you guys got me loud and clear, shoot me a thumbs up in our WhatsApp chat. This is the first time we're doing this live on Facebook and on YouTube. So just want to make sure that this thing is working okay. So if you guys hear me okay. Okay, I got you, Julie. I see you in the chat box right there. Agency, if y'all got me, put me in the WhatsApp chat there. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I don't see anybody in WhatsApp, but hopefully this will work. Okay, cool. I got you, Heather. Thanks for backing me up there. Hey, really cool today. We're going to go over a part of our presentation that I think is so important for you to be able to help your clients out. But before we do that, check out these Tuesday highlights. So just a few of them. You guys absolutely dominated yesterday and crushed the day out there in the field. I love getting to see the little scavenger hunt incentive that you guys were doing, from finding the chickens to the cows to all of that. So if you won the Chick-fil-A, shout out to you for doing that. But check out these highlights from Tuesday. We had Antonio with a 5K day yesterday. He dropped 2 massive applications there yesterday afternoon. So nice work to you, Antonio. Big shout out to Ivy, over a $2,600 day for her. And hey, I'm not going to jump into too much, but just keep Ivy and her family in your prayers. Her mom went through some health complications, and how good is God that the prayers worked and she's doing a lot better. So Ivy, super proud of you. Even amongst all of that, you were able to have a $2,600 day as well. So continued prayers for you guys. But hey, God is good, right? That's all we got to say for that one. So Ivy, awesome work to you. $2,600 yesterday. Big shout out to Paulo. 2 applications for him on the day with a 2-app day. Kay had a $1,500 day for her. Awesome work to you, Kay. Savannah, 3 apps. Hey, it's hard enough to get 1 app a day, right? But I feel like every time Savannah goes out there, she's writing 2, 3, 4, 5 a day. So nice work to her. Big shout out to Justin Pavoni, over a $1,600 day for him with an awesome Tuesday. Big shout out to Jess Graham as well. She did her first IUL illustration and tried to sell that product yesterday with Mutual of Omaha. So Jess, way to break out there, right? And try to tackle some different products there. So guys, overall, awesome week so far this week. These are just a handful of days. I know I missed so many of you that were posting in the WhatsApp chat yesterday. So nice work to you guys. Jumping into today's call. Okay. We're going to talk about, all right, why people request information. All right. Now this is something, it's Wednesday, right? It's our training day today. But this is a slide inside your presentation that can make it or break it for you. All right. This is when you help your client or when you lose your client. This slide is everything. All right. So when you guys are going through your presentation, all right, I just want to jump into here and go over this page and really help you to explain this to your client in a way, right, that they understand. In a way that they know that you're not just there to sell them something, but you're there to actually help them out. So if you guys don't have this page saved to your iPad, make sure you go to Google Drive, download the presentation slideshow, print this thing out, carry it around with you, and really hone in on this page when you're in the presentation. So we're going to jump to that. We're also, towards the second half of today's call, we're going to have Jody come on. And hopefully we can get this live stream to work. Hey, there might be some technical difficulties there, but we'll try our best to make it work for you guys. But you're going to get to hear from an agent who is, check it out, in her rookie year, she's in the top 3 of the whole company year to date. She's already won the Cancun trip. All right. And she's just on fire lately. I'm sure you guys saw her post multiple applications yesterday as well. So make sure you stay on here if you want to get some good tips from Jody as well. But jumping into this page, guys, why do people request information, right? So you guys are all out there, right? You're working leads. They might be age leads, new leads, whatever it is that you're working. Maybe you're knocking on neighbors' doors. This page is universal, all right? This page basically lets your client know why you're there, right? We're big on transparency, right? We want people to know why we're there, sitting with them, talking with them. We don't want to waste their time. We don't want to trick them with anything, right? So this page sets your presentation up for success. All right. And so why do people request information? Okay. It's very, very simple, guys. If you can help your client figure out one of these three categories, you've helped them, okay, lock in some coverage, and you've also helped yourself throughout the day selling a policy as well. So the very first thing to key in here is that most Americans are underinsured. I think this stat goes like 45% of people don't have life insurance at all, right? So about half and half, right? Let's just make it easy. Let's say 50% of people don't have any life insurance. Out of that percentage, the number one reason why people don't have insurance is because they think it's too expensive, right? And it may be, maybe they've been looking around at plans and they've just been too expensive, but they've not talked to you yet, right? They've not talked to somebody that has access to every insurance product out there, right? Every carrier, every health condition. All right. That client that is on dialysis, who usually has to go through to your weight, they don't know that you have a carrier that's going to give them day one coverage and is a lot cheaper, right? So all these different situations, right? Most people are underinsured, and it's due to their perception of price. All right, most people are underinsured too because they don't think that they're ever going to need it. All right, think about it. When you're younger, all right, like my age or whatever, we don't think about dying. We don't think anything's going to happen to us. But things happen every day. Okay. People are left without insurance all the time. All right. I was talking to somebody about what we do and how this business works. And they were talking about how one of their employees passed away unexpectedly. I think it was from a car wreck. And they all thought, because the workplace offered insurance, that this person was a part of that, had insurance. Turns out they never elected for it. Didn't have any life insurance, right? Ended up having to do a GoFundMe account. So there's so many people out there that need your help, but there's so many people out there that just need a good agent that can actually explain how life insurance works. All right. And that's where you come into play. Don't view yourself, right, like a salesperson. All right. When it comes to this, people need what you have to offer. All right. And if they're a hard no, then hey, just move on to the next one. Right. But most people out there would agree that it's important to have some type of life insurance. And most people out there that have it don't even understand what they have, right? They don't know the difference in term, whole life, UL. They don't know if what they're paying on is any good or not. So that's where you come into play. And that's where your presentation starts. All right. Is with this slide after you introduce yourself and you go through that. So guys, when I'm going through this slide with a potential client, it's very, very easy, right? I talk about how most people are underinsured. Think about the debt they have, their cars, their land, the taxes on that land. All right. It is insane how many people get inherited land and then lose it because they don't have any life insurance to help cover the property taxes, even if that land's paid off. So there's a lot of different things that they need insurance for to help their loved ones out when they pass away, to cover expenses, not just a burial expense. So the first thing I'm going to say is, hey, most people request information for one of three reasons. All right. The first one is if they don't have any current coverage and they desperately need help, all right, to figure out what kind of plan they need to protect their loved ones, right? This is somebody who just has never bought insurance because they don't know where to get it from, how to get it, what kind to get. It's that person. All right. Number two is the boat that most people fall in. They already have coverage, but they're fearful that it's just not enough, right? It's not enough for them to be able to cover things. So with how expensive everything has gotten, right? Cars used to be, you go buy a brand new truck for like 20, 30 grand. Now it's every bit of 60 for like the base model, right? So they just don't have enough coverage. Everything's more expensive out there, including burial costs, cremation costs, and all of that stuff. So I think the going rate right now is like $16,000, $17,000 for just your bare minimum, right? Your standard just burial service, your memorial service is right about 16, depending where you live. If you live in a more urban area, it might be closer to like 20. and it's only going to go up, right? 10, 15, 20 years from now, it's probably going to be double that. So they have coverage, but they're fearful that it's not enough. And then number 3 is somebody who's just good, right? They've put money aside. They have no debt. All their stuff is paid for. Really, they're just in a good spot, but they want to have a dedicated plan to cover a burial or a cremation, something that their family doesn't have to take the money out of the savings account, right? Or the money that they're inheriting from their family, from their loved one. They don't have to take that money to go pay for this stuff. So just a dedicated plan to cover a burial and cremation. And the cool thing with these, right, is you don't even have to pay the plan up. All right. Let's say you get a $20,000 plan. God forbid something happens next year. You've only paid $500 into this thing. Your family could get the 20 grand to pay that off. So I'm going to go over those 3 options. And then I'm going to ask the potential client, right? Like, which one of these do they fall into? All right, guys. And this is key. You want to stay on this slide until your client really talks about which category that they're in. All right. If you move past this slide, you're doing your client a disservice because they don't really understand why you're there. Like, what are you there to help them with, right? This is the slide that, the policy basically sells itself after this one, right? Because your client figures out what they actually need, all right? And then you can fill the void to help them with that need. So my goal, right, for my presentation is I do not move past this slide until me and the potential client are on the same page. What do they actually need? Okay. Because I want to be there to help them with something that they actually need. I don't want to be pushy or try to sell them something that they don't need. Right. So this is a big slide. If you can get on the same page with your client on this slide, okay, then your presentation's good. After that, right, you do the call to close, go through the underwriting, all that good stuff, and find the plan that works for them. So make sure you guys are honing in on this. If you're having trouble in your presentation in your day, it's probably coming down to this slide. You're probably not spending enough time on it and making sure that your client really knows like what you're there to help them with. Okay. Now, if you go through all 3 of these and your potential client is just, hey, not having it, right? They're just good on everything. They don't need you. They're not interested. They don't want to talk to you. Hey, high five them, wish them a good day, and go on to the next one, right? Because there's plenty of people out there that actually do need help with this stuff. So just a quick tip for you guys on this Wednesday morning on just mastering that part of the presentation, figuring out how to make that work for you and for your client. So next up, I'm going to see if I can get Jody to come on here. And I'm going to send her a link. Jody, I'm texting you. Hey, bear with us for a second, guys, right? This is the first time we're doing this. So I'm going to try to get Jody in here. And if it doesn't work, then we were going to have to maybe do this on Friday once we can get this thing to get figured out here. So copy the link. Jody, I'm going to send you this link to your email, and then it should let you in the studio. Then I should be able to bring you on here. And we're going to bear with us for like 2 minutes as we work through this. And if it doesn't work, hey, it was a good try, right? But hopefully that link, Jody, that I just sent you should allow you to jump in here. But guys, as Jody's working through that, clicking that link, I want to hear from you guys. Go to WhatsApp, all right, and post, all right, what was your highlight so far for this week? All right, think about all the clients you've sat with. Think about what you've seen so far out there. Go to WhatsApp and post one of your highlights for this week so far. So I've seen so many of you guys posting in the WhatsApp about clients that you've helped. Okay, here we go. We got Jody. But go to WhatsApp, guys, and post in there. What's your highlight so far for this week? So Jody, I'm going to. Okay, here we go. We got Jody. And remove this one. Okay, there she is. All right, Jody, you are the first guest to come on live here. How does that feel being Facebook famous now?
Feels great. I'm ready.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate you for coming on here. Guys, I know most of you know Jody, right? But if you're watching this, you're not in the agency yet, you're just checking things out. Jody got started here January was like your first real month, right, Jody?
Yeah.
First real month, and she has absolutely dominated it. She's in the top 3 year to date, competing against all the experienced agents. She told them to just move out of the way. She's going to take it home this year. She's already hit the Cancun trip. So, Jody, I just wanted you to come on here, share like what your experience has been so far jumping into this industry.
Okay. Well, my experience, like at the beginning, I was scared to death. I'm like, what is this? What am I doing? But then I, you know, okay, let's start back. So I got licensed back in July of 2023. From July of 2023 until January 1st, I listened to y'all's phone calls every morning and it was just so inspiring. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot wait to do this. So once I started, I followed Joni. I think I was with Joni for maybe a week or 2 weeks and followed her with training and literally just did what she told me to do and it worked. And then I just realized like when you connect with people and you're not having that commission breath that people talk about, I'm like, oh my God, please do not have that commission breath. Because once I realized that when I was really truly helping people, I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like, and I'm being rewarded, like I'm truly helping these families out. And I've really been connecting with people on that level. I would say the last month or two, it's just been even more so like, God, I'm really helping these families. And when I tell them that, I also tell them that they are helping their kids' and their kids' grandkids because they're teaching them what to do so they don't have that financial burden, that financial devastation that can really happen because when the kids have to pay for it, then their kids suffer because they don't have, the funds. So it's something where I really have been honing in on just finding someone to talk to. The other day, I ran into a lady. She didn't live there anymore, but this new lady did. I thought she had died. I was like, oh God, did the lady die? She was like, no, we just moved in. I was like, okay, my bad. I went to the worst. But then she was like, "Yeah, come on in." So I just feel like if we have the opportunity to really talk to people about what we do and how we help people, it really does. Like, it feels good. I feel good about my job. I used to be a waitress, a manager of a restaurant, a bartender, all the things in the restaurant world. And I actually liked it. I was really good at it. But it was just a cap on what I can make. And now I'm really helping people and helping myself. And I'm going to be able to just do all the things that I've always wanted to do. I don't know. It just feels really good. I really love what I do. And I tell my clients that too. I'm like, this just feels good. And they connect with that too. And they love it. I've just been really connecting with people a lot. And I think that really helps.
Definitely. I can tell that just from when you post your pictures of you and your clients in the WhatsApp. I can see like the connection, how much they like you. And I think that that's why you've done so well is one, you've studied, right? Like you've followed the system to a T, but two, you're actually out there and people can genuinely sense that you're there to help them, which I love seeing that. So here's a question for you, Jody. When you're out there knocking on doors and selling, I know a lot of new agents are looking at you thinking like, she must just never get told no. So do you ever get told no
Oh my
out
gosh.
there in the field?
Every day I get told no. I have ladies screaming at me, telling me to go off their porch, and I'm just like, one lady had real pretty hair. I was like, but I like your hair. She was like, get off. I was like, okay. But I don't let it bother me. I literally have somebody tell me no every day. But those people are just the ones that I say, okay, it's fine. And then I'll go find somebody else. Like it does not bother me one bit. I do not let it bother me. And if it does bother you, just try not to let it because everybody has bad days. And I'm talking about the older people that are just, they're going through it. They've got a lot of stuff going on and sometimes they don't have a good day, but if they're not having a good day and I can kind of get them to laugh a little bit and I'm like, "Well, I'll just come back next week." They're like, "Okay." So I'll do that sometimes too. If you can get them to smile, they're good.
Yeah, that's the key right there is just cracking that smile. It's funny. Like, guys, if you're listening to this call, a lot of the people we visit, right? They're elderly. You're the only new person that they'll meet this whole year. And so it may be caught off guard a little bit, right? Like when you show up or you call them and all of that, but you really can make a lifelong friend and be that agent, right? For that family. So that's awesome, Jody. I can just sense the compassion that you have. And I really think that's why you've done so well. So what's been some things, Jody, right? Like you were brand new to this in January, and here we are. We're coming up 3/4 of the way through the year. So, what's a tip that you'd have for like a brand new agent just starting out here, like this month?
Yeah, just I mean, keep knocking, keep if you're calling, keep doing it. It's activity, activity, activity. And Joni used to tell me that all the time, and I was like, whatever, I'm just like, oh my God. But then it's so true because then that next person you knock could be your next sale. And you got to get that sale out of your head. Like if you're going in there really truly trying to help someone, I feel like that really helps to not just think about, oh God, what's this commission going to be? Because honestly, you could get through the whole application and then at the end they'll be like, I don't want to do it, or it's a unapproved, or whatever. So it's just one of those things that if you just keep pushing, just keep going, keep knocking, and keep smiling, and keep just make somebody laugh. I don't know. That's my tip. Just keep going.
Yeah, I love that tip. That's probably the best one out there for new agents. Just put in the activity. You'll get the result out of it. So, Jerry, I think one thing that agents might struggle with is, they were in like W-2 world, like you were talking about before. You were in the restaurant business and serving and stuff. And then they jump into this, right? And it's like, hey, you got to create your own paycheck every day that you go out there. So what's that been like for you? Like
Yeah.
going from being W-2 to now being basically, running your own show, running your own business.
Yeah, well, in the same world of restaurants, I never knew what I was going to make. I did have I was a manager, but then I also made tips. So tips, you never know what you're going to make. But in this world, what I do every time I get a deposit, I take, a certain percentage and put it over for my taxes. First of all, I do that. And then I've got like a few savings accounts to where I know where things are going. And then that's how I pay myself as well. So I have my taxes, savings, and then I've got my savings to where like it's just how I pay myself. And then I've got another my checking account is where I pay my bills. So does that make sense? Like I every time I get a deposit, I put money aside for the taxes. That's been helping me because I'm like I don't want to get hit with that at the end.
Yeah, that will creep up and get you. If you're not doing that right now, I would highly recommend it. We do the same thing, right? Multiple accounts, checking, taxes, which is just a savings account. I just name it taxes.
Yeah.
Same thing, put a percentage. If you guys are wondering like what kind of percentage you should be putting over there, I like putting 25. I think that at the end of the year, you're probably not going to see having to pay that much, but then you just have extra and you can roll it over into the next year. So that's awesome that you do that, Jody. What is your goal for this year, right? Like I know you've been just crushing it every single month. What's your goal to wrap up this year?
Oh my God. I mean, just as much as I could do. I mean, I don't even know what I've done so far, but I'm very excited about it. It's just fun. Honestly, I don't even really look at the numbers. I just go, go, go. And then I just, fingers crossed. And I mean, I just want to go big as I can. All of this is about me. Like, I feel so proud of myself for what I've done and how I've just kept going because you can be done with this pretty fast, but because I want to say this to the new people. If you every day you have to look at this job like you got to go to work from like 9 to 5 or 10 to 6 or whatever you do. It cannot be one of those things where you make some money and then you take off the next day. Not that. So I think I got off topic. I don't know what we were talking about, but that just popped in my head.
Hey, that's a great tip, right? Because this business is a blessing and a curse, right? You get to set your own schedule. So you can go out there and make really good money in one day that you're used to taking 2 weeks. And then if you are like, hey, now I'm good for 2 weeks, come that 2 week mark, you're going to be like stressed trying to get it back again. So that's an awesome tip is even though it's not W-2, you should treat it like a W-2. Like, hey, I got to show up 9 to 5, 9 to 6, 10 to 6, just like you were saying. The agents that do that always seem to do the best. And look at it as a whole too, right? Like you might have bad days, but you're never really going to have a bad week. I think that's the key. Like there's been many days I go out there and I don't sell anything. But by the end of the week, I'm always hitting the numbers I set for myself. So you have to look at it collectively as like a whole. So love that, Jody. Jody, what's a closing tip that you have for everybody? Like just tell them the secret to your success.
Know what? You gotta believe in yourself. You gotta believe in yourself and don't be a salesman. And just know that you are really helping people. That's it. You're helping people and you're doing a good job and you're going to make some money. Is that good?
Amen to that. I love that tip. Well, hey, Jody, I appreciate you jumping on here and being our first guest on this live platform.
Yeah.
So you've set the record, you've set the milestone. So appreciate you sharing these tips. Awesome job to you so far this year. Super, super proud of you and everything that you've accomplished. So guys, that's all we got for you. All right, it's coming up on 9:30. Let's go have a big day out there and we will be back here on Friday.